Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Everything in this video, apart from this first clip, happened to me in 1 day's driving.
Phone's on me again. Yep, look at your phone, girl. Look at your phone. Don't bother looking at the red man or green man. Look at your phone. That's going to tell you when you can go or not.
The car in front of me here is turning right, just like I am. But it wants to take the next possible right, which is that road down there. So his indicator is still going to be on from turning this right. So he lets me know by sticking his arm out the window. That's fair enough. At least I know. Now let's have a look at the guy behind us, how he handled that. First off, obviously, he's too late getting into his lane and the back end of his car is sticking out into the outside lane. Second, he is so close to me, it's unbelievable. Thirdly, look at the paint job. You tell he don't give a shit about his car. Or mine, by how close he is. And then he pulls a tight right. He obviously didn't see anything in front of the back of my car because he was that close. Apologies for the voice, by the way. I've got a bit of a cold today. One for you petrol heads here. This little one on my left. I say little one. It's about 100 foot long and it's only got 2 doors. I'm sure there'll be someone that knows the name, make, model and everything else of this car out there. It does a left turn up here just a second in a little while. And it actually struggles to get round this bend. It's that big. There's a little slow up just there. Not sure. This here is one of the most dangerous things on our motorways stroke A roads that there is at the moment for me. I'm on the slip road on the A3 coming off at the M25. You know what's going to happen. Someone's going to come up here and cut in. There it is. Same type of motor all the time. What would happen if there wasn't a gap for him? What would he do? He'd just be holding up the middle lane with so much potential of someone hitting him and hitting everyone else in the inside lane. Why don't they make it law that if you don't get into that lane, when it first becomes a slip road, you can actually be fined? Make it proper law. And then he just goes through a red light as well to top it off. I want to talk to you about this roundabout as well. This is junction 10 on the M25, the A3. The lanes are pretty weird, to say the least. The van on my right here obviously isn't turning left. You can see that a mile away. That's why he's hanging back. So you'll see him just zoom off. But the bit that I want to talk about is over here. Now there's 3 lanes coming out of where we were. The lane to my left isn't going right, and we all want to turn right from the lane that I was in. There's a lane that starts there where the Royal Mail van is going into. Now unless you know this road, you just wouldn't do it right. You can hear all the bibbing behind us, which you'll see in a minute why that was. But as you can see, the 2 lanes go right the way round to join the M25. This is from the rear view camera. We're looking at the white van to the left as we're looking at it. He's the only one that doesn't get it, what happens here, and he's the only one that gets fucking arsey about it and uses his horn. And just through my experience of this roundabout, I can see that the car directly behind me is a little bit confused as well as this white van. They're the only ones that are not getting it right, but it's everyone else is sort of like following the leader, or they know the roundabout as well. But the real numpty is the guy in the white van. Not only is he heavy on the horn, he actually tries to push the car out of their lane. He's the only one that's in the wrong lane. And now you'll see him going back into the lane that he was in the first place, that everyone else went into. He's going to go back into it and then give that car driver a bit of a filthy look. Go back to the front. And people will say, I know they will, you're blocking the junction. No, I'm not. I'm not over the lines yet, or not over their lanes, rather, I should say. But then I could do that, and I've still got a green light. You'll see it over there on the left. And now I'm behind the numpty.
Entering average speed check zone.
Now, normally on this road, you normally get 2 lanes that go onto the M25. Obviously, because there's roadworks, there's only 1 lane. So we all have to go over to the left, to the right as we're looking at it from the rear view camera, obviously. But I've got to say, I've got to give credit where credit's due. This van behind us on the right hand side, he is just not bothering about closing up the gap or anything. So relaxed about leaving a nice big space for me and the car behind us. Makes a nice change, I've got to say. I'll give you a little warning, there's some really bad editing coming up. It goes really fast and I don't know why.
Police reported ahead.
Now, you just heard police reported ahead. I wonder what it could be. Little message for all my lane hogging fans. Are all these lanes to the right of me, and myself included here, are we all lane hogging, by the way? Or is the motorway just too busy to be all in the left hand lane?
Watch out. Vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Now, vehicle stopped on road ahead. What could it be? Oh, always an Audi. Now, as you can see, it's horrible weather. Traffic's really busy. Down to 40 miles an hour. And again, are all these people on the right hand side here lane hogging? But just because the road's busy, you can't do this. Or you shouldn't do that. And just because you see someone do it, it doesn't mean you have to follow. I want that lane, but I'm going to do it the correct way and wait until them solid lines are finished. And here's a little tip for you newbie drivers out there. Just because the solid lines finish, you still have to look for undertaking drivers. You're indicating to turn left into that lane, still look, because they come flying up there. Now, as you can hear my indicator go, do you think that they should have come up the inside of me there, knowing that I want to come over? Is that proper undertaking? Would they be in big shit if I hit them, or would I be in the shit if I hit them, or both? You'll get to see a lot of bad driving in a second, all different types. As I'm on a slip road to the Heathrow Airport, Terminal 5, you'll see the car up in front who's used that slip road to cut traffic. You'll see this white car in front of me undertake the professional driver. You'll see the professional driver in front of me lane hog and not move over, stay in the outside lane. In a second, when we take the turn off here, why not come over to the left with me? He stays out there. Remember, he does this for a living, this guy. He is a professional driver, a minicab driver. Now you've got this white car that's going to undertake him again. And he hasn't got the message. In my last video I showed you how to send a message to these people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Can't quite read his plate. Not his number plate, his license taxi plate. I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to undertake him. I can't be doing with shit drivers like that all day. Now his lane comes into our lane. Got a car behind me that wants to undertake him as well. Professional driver, where's his indicator? His lane finishes. He should be indicating back in. I bet he didn't even look. Moving on a little bit more. We're heading into the terminal. 2 lanes go straight onto Heathrow. The BMW wants them both. Cuts right across my lane. Doesn't seem to know he's done it. But what goes around comes around, as he gets cut up himself here. As I've said before, on airports people get confused. You've got to cut them some slack, but the BMW, you should know what lane to get into on a roundabout. Now this is the guy that was causing all the trouble behind me now. I've dropped off my passenger. That's his passenger in the front seat with him. And he doesn't even get out of his vehicle to help him with his luggage. How unprofessional is that? And we're not even talking about his driving. Love to know what firm he works for. Another professional driver coming up on the right hand side of me now, that blue one. There is someone crossing up that zebra crossing there.
You've got someone crossing. Wait.
We come up to this guy on the left hand side in a second. Look in your mirrors, mate.
Again, these guys are professional drivers. They drop off all the time, and yet they swing their door open without looking in their mirrors.
We're not quite finished yet. We've still got another couple of professional drivers to show you. This one here on the left. I don't think he should have pulled out even yet. I think he should have waited for me to go past him. But that's not the real issue.
Look how close he is to that. Look how close he is. It's like he's being towed. He is another professional driver.
And then we got this one to end it off. Another professional driver. I think I've said professional driver too much in this little sequence, haven't I? But where do you get them from, Mr. Sadiq Khan? Solid white lines. What do they mean again? Nothing to a professional driver. Oh God, I've said professional driver again. Okay, time to leave the professional drivers alone. I've said it again, I know. Let's have a pop at Audis again. Look at this gap behind me. Huge between the lorry and me. Them two lanes to my right hand side, that's a slip road to the M3. There's an Audi to my right hand side. Why couldn't he come in behind me? In that big gap. He don't want the M3. He's just queue jumping. He waits until the very last second to pull over. Heavy on the brakes. Goes over now.
The Audi doing it. Right at the death. Right at the end of the slip road. Cuts in.
Always an Audi. In this clip you can see the weather is horrible. So the last thing you need is someone pulling in front of you and slamming their brakes on. Like this idiot on the right hand side of me does. There's something for you petrol heads to the left hand side there as well.
Okay, thank you so much,
Fucking hell.
against Jermaine Franklin on Saturday, April the 1st.
Fucking idiots.
Listen to on TalkSport, the home of boxing.
White and Jordan on TalkSport with Selco.
Fucking wanker.
Check stock in your local branch. We've got it at selcobw.com.
Notice the finger. It was obviously my fault that he got in front of me and slammed his brakes on. Obviously. I did flash him, yes. That's how he knew that I was upset with him. And we did have words, and yes, we shouldn't be having words on a motorway, but we had words, and his attitude totally changed when he saw how many cameras I had up on the front of my dashboard.
The Cheltenham Festival is finally here.
That, mate. Fucking that. Got you on camera. Got you on camera. See yourself on YouTube. Toss ups.
I'm speeding it up here just to show you just how much time he had to get over to the left hand side and how much space there is. He didn't have to do what he done there. It was dangerous, reckless, in terrible weather conditions. So obviously I wasn't best pleased. Here's another Audi clip. Only joking. It's a Kia. Just to level things off a little bit. This Kia coming up to on my right hand side here tries to undertake me in a second, and I don't know why.
You're just gonna try and come up the inside of me, you fucking arsehole. What are you doing, mate? What are you fucking doing? What are you like, you fucking moron?
Traffic and travel on TalkSport with Swinton Van Insurance.
Kia. Fucking Kia.
You'll hear a second bib in a minute from the Volvo again, because over there to the right hand side, that guy there, he just steps into the road as well, right in front of that Volvo. He's having a really good day.
What are you like, you fucking moron?
Traffic and travel on TalkSport with Swinton Van Insurance.
Kia.
We can offer
Fucking
van
Kia.
insurance that covers social, domestic and pleasure use, as well as your business needs. Swinton Van
I'm really
Insurance.
getting in the wrong lane. Oh, getting in the wrong lane. Fucking walking in the road.
So not only is this lorry in the wrong lane now, that cuts across me, the Kia, which I can't understand why he was trying to undertake me, ends up in the outside lane over there to the right. So why was he coming up the inside of me? Or trying to?
And now he's blocked us off, the lorry. So we can't go down the inside.
Circumstances taking place at that time, I would have stayed there until they sacked me. So, which would have happened like anything else, but So I would have stayed. So listen, the fans love him at the moment. It's great. It's really fantastic, and he's got a good way with everyone up there as well too.
Yeah.
I met him a couple of times. He's
You
a splendid
idiots.
character, and no, I would like him to stay there at the football club for.